Hi there, this is Bethany Gagne, the originator of the Albany Peace Project, and today I am here with Roger Mock, who is the music director at the Unity Church in Albany.
Hey, you got it.
And Roger, I just have a quick question. How many instruments do you play? Because I've seen you up there for years.
Oh my gosh, not so many. Guitar, mandolin, hammer, dulcimer, sometimes banjo, ukulele, but it's mostly through those first three.
It always seems like you got a different one. So, but through all this, I've learned that Roger actually has been an avid meditator for, like you said, over 30 years, right?
Yeah, I think I would take it back to the late 70s.
And what inspired you to start meditating?
Well, I would say that prayer has been a strong part of my life for a good long while. I was raised pretty strong Catholic to begin with. And back in high school days, there was this thing happening called the charismatic renewal, which is kind of a Pentecostal version of Catholicism.
Yeah.
Which was part of my life for a little while. And but one thing you learn to do is pray. I found. I'm taking it back to the late 70s. This is the moment that I come to when I think of when did I start meditating. I had a close friend, we shared an apartment for a while, and one day he just suggested to me that we try a little thing where we just look into each other's eyes for an extended period, saying nothing, just looking and see what happens. So we're close friends. I said, okay, we'll do that. And it was hard. But I did notice as we were doing that there's communication going on. I mean, that's obvious, but there was a deeper communication than I expected that happened.
Right.
And a few days after that, I was doing my own personal prayer thing. I thought, you know what? Maybe I'll try this with God.
Wow, fabulous.
So that's for me. That's what how I started meditating.
Right.
Because I found that it worked.
Right.
I shut up finally. Saying things to God, asking things of God, whatever, and just tried to be in that place of, imagining that I was gazing into God's eyes.
Wow.
As it were. And trying to get into that same feeling of a communication thing happening. And yeah, I found that it was a whole different way of praying and that it really worked for me.
Wow. And you said worked for me because you were able to shut off the chattering mind.
Yes,
right?
It brought me into a quiet space. I could actually experience something going on inside without having to attach words to it.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Excellent. Are you going to, by any chance, be leading people in that today, or a version
I
of
have
that?
no idea what's
okay.
We'll see how that goes.
It sounds wonderful, though. Yeah. And you noticed that when you pointed your mind in that direction, you felt kind of like a groove that you kind of fall into. Is that right?
I would say that's true. And then, over the years, I tried different kinds of meditation with different influences. I let it go for extended periods. I came back into it. But I found, and I think I said this when we talked earlier when we did that little TV thing, that I consider myself to be a pretty terrible meditator. But the thing is, I do it pretty consistently. And because of that, I find that I can get into that space in most instances. I mean, if I'm in a difficult spot where I'm feeling anxiety or something, I find that I can get into that quiet space and release that. So that it's been a very important part.
So it pays off, right?
Yeah,
the diligence of kind of continuing to try it, even though you're feeling like, oh, I'm a terrible meditator.
I think what I said before is that I'm an expert. I'm an expert at mind. I can't think of the word. Smart. Of my mind just floating away. Into, I'm an expert at that.
Well, I was thinking about the analogy today that when you go work at the gym, it's how many reps you do that build the strength. And the more you bring your mind back, that you've been doing this diligently for years, so that you keep bringing your mind back, so there's a strength that builds. It's like a repetition at the gym, right?
Wandering was the word I was looking for.
Yeah, there we go.
My mind is wandering away from the word. Anyway.
And on Sunday evenings at Unity Church in Albany, you do a music service, which combines meditation and music as well,
That's right? Yeah. So we'll do, 25 minutes or so of chanting.
Wonderful.
From various traditions. Someone, often the minister, will lead a guided meditation. We'll come back into some more music. So it's pretty free flowing.
Nice, nice, very nice. Every Sunday night at 5:30, correct?
6 to 7, 6 o'clock.
Sorry, 6 to 7. 6 to 7.
If you come at 5:30, it's okay.
You're right.
You'll hear us practicing stuff.
Last minute, right? So, all right. Well, Roger, thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely.
And we're
Thank you
certainly
so
looking
much.
forward to your meditation. Thank you.
Okay.